I'm joined now by White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby. Good to see you, Admiral Kirby, this morning.
Thanks.
Hezbollah has now basically had its leadership wiped out and hundreds, if not thousands, of operatives wounded or some dead. So who has the keys to Hezbollah now, and what changes?
I don't think that's exactly clear, Martha, exactly how they're going to figure out what the leadership structure looks like. We fully expect that somebody will be anointed and somebody will probably try to take Mr. Nasrallah's place. He's been in command of Hezbollah for some 30 years, so we'll see who they decide to put in charge and where this goes. I think, to your point, though, the command structure has been nearly decimated. Thousands of missiles and drones destroyed by Israel over the last few days. There's no question that the Hezbollah today is not the Hezbollah that it was even just a week ago.
But they still have capability. I mean, do you have any
Clearly.
estimate of long-range missiles or how much firepower still remains?
I don't think we have a clear picture of exactly how much capability they have, but you're absolutely right. You can't just count them out. They still have quite a bit of capability left.
And, you know, the U.S., you and everyone in the administration has talked about de-escalating this conflict, calming it down, tamping it down. But let me ask you this. Why shouldn't Israel, at this point, when Hezbollah is so vulnerable, when they've had so many people wiped out, just go full bore after Hezbollah?
Look, I think to a degree, both things can be true, Martha. Israel has a right and a responsibility to eliminate this threat to their people and to their land, to their sovereignty. It is a terrorist organization. They are still launching missiles and rockets at Israel, and they have a right to be concerned about whatever infrastructure remains of Hezbollah. This is a well-armed, well-resourced group. At the same time, we believe that we do need to look for ways to de-escalate the tensions, to prevent this from becoming an all-out war, which is why the G7 nations got together the other night and called for a 21-day ceasefire to see if we can't find time and space for diplomacy to work. Both things can be true at the same time.
Of course, now all eyes are on Iran. What do you expect Iran to do? First of all, their proxies are vulnerable right now, both of them, Hamas and Hezbollah. Will Iran itself respond? What are you seeing there? And the Houthis as well.
Well, their rhetoric certainly suggests they're going to try to do something. I mean, just coming out of Tehran, but we don't really know. We're watching this very, very closely to see how, if and how, Hezbollah and or Iran may react, as well as the militia groups in Iraq and Syria. We have to be prepared for some sort of response. We have to make sure that we are ready, and we are. We believe we have the force capability we need in the region, but it's not clear right now, too soon to know how Iran's going to react to this.
And I know you say you have the force capability in the region. President Biden said yesterday, I directed my Secretary of Defense to further enhance the defense posture of U.S. military forces in the Middle East to deter aggression and reduce the risk of a broader regional war. What does that mean exactly? I know you've added some troops. Are they dozens? Are they hundreds? And what will they be doing?
There's a contingency of additional forces in the region right now to help us with any possible contingencies that might come up.
Dozens more? I mean, I know we have 40,000 troops in the region already.
I don't want to get into the exact numbers or who these guys are, but we did deploy some additional forces into the region. I would tell you that there's other options available as well in terms of adding and enhancing that force posture. I'm not prepared this morning to talk about that in any great detail or make any announcements. That'll be up to the commander-in-chief to do. I would add, though, that we now have more force capability in the Middle East than we did in April when Iran launched hundreds of missiles and drones. So there is already a very robust military capability to defend ourselves and to help defend Israel if it comes to that.
What does Israel say when you tell them that there are repercussions for what they're doing, which means our troops could be harmed?
I believe that the Israelis know very well, and not just from our conversations, but they know because they live in a tough neighborhood, that the United States could also become, and has become, in fact, targets of some of these attacks, particularly by the militia groups. I think they understand that. And we're having those discussions with them right now about sort of what is the next best step or steps forward. At the same time, as the president said yesterday, we got to make sure we've got the ability to defend our troops and our facilities if it comes to that, and we believe we do.
And if the situation does escalate, we certainly hope it does not, Are you absolutely certain we are prepared to get Americans out of Lebanon or even Israel? Completely prepared. I know I hate to look back on this, but Afghanistan, no preparation. I know it's very different, but are you confident you could do it this time?
We have contingency plans for evacuations in just about every corner of the world, Martha. Everything that we are doing, everything that Secretary Austin is doing at the Defense Department is to make sure we have the requisite capability and the planning and preparation capability available to us. So we are working our way through that. I would add that right now the State Department does not feel a need for that, that there are still commercial operations, commercial air traffic that is getting out of Beirut and are still available to those Americans that want to leave. We again urge Americans, if you're in Lebanon and you want to go now while these options are available to you.
John, I have a very short period of time here, but should the hostage families still have hope? They are losing hope.
Yes. Yes, we want them to have hope. We have hope. We're not giving up on them. And we absolutely, they need to know that President Biden is doing everything he can to make sure the team is focused on getting them home.
Okay, thanks so much for joining us,
Yes,
Admiral Kirby.